Here we go.
Bow, boy, where you been? It's TeeJay, the artist. You rockin' with me. You are the smartest, and we back with another video, man. And LUKA's in LA. LUKA is in. LUKA, LeBron. AD over there with the Mavericks, Kyrie and Klay Thompson. Players, NBA players, you do not have to be loyal to your organization. Do you see this? We're talking about LUKA. LUKA. They let that boy go to LA. Video I got for you today. Jimmy High Roller, he literally just dropped this. I stayed on top of you this time, Jimmy. The craziest trade in NBA history. Well, this is one of the craziest. This is wild. There's a lot to go on with this guy. I heard that they didn't want to pay him his supermax or whatever and all that other stuff. They got up off of him. Let's get into the video, man. Could you turn me up in the headphones a little bit? Whole world, what? Somebody steal Shan's phone. Exactly.
There aren't many things that can stop the entire NBA world in its tracks at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. Did someone score 100 points? Did LeBron hastily retire in the middle of the season?
What happened?
Did Michael Jordan come back out of retirement? What could possibly get everyone riled up out of nowhere? Oh my God.
The Dallas Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the LA Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. Sources tell ESPN. 3-team deal that includes Utah. I saw this. My homeboy Thriller sent it to me. And I tried to check. I was like, is that a fake account? I immediately asked him, is that a fake account? He said no. I went and go look on ESPN. They posted it. I said, boy, what the hell going on? I told all the boys that was in the park, because, you know, we gaming and stuff. We playing a game and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We playing a game. So I said, oh. They said, what's going on? I said, bro, there's no way. There's no way what? Are you ever going to tell us? And I was like, LUKA just got traded to the Lakers. They said, what the? We stopped playing the game. I had to call up my homeboy, bro, what you doing? He was like, I was like, bro, did you see? He was like, what you talking about? I was like, bro, did you see what just happened? He said, what you talking about? He said, hold on, don't tell me. He went and looked. He said, what the fuck?
We all said in unison as news broke that the Mavericks traded Luka Doncic.
Y'all are going to remember where you were when Luka went to the Lakers. Where were you when Luka got traded to the Lakers? Where were you?
For Anthony Davis. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I figured this was just some big elaborate hack
Look at
job,
this.
and I was waiting for follow-up tweets saying, false alarm, the Mavericks actually aren't brain dead. I can't believe you guys fell for it. But within minutes, it was clear that this trade was unfortunately very real, and the Mavericks are in fact out of their minds. The same player who Mark Cuban said he would rather leave his wife before giving up. The same player who...
Okay, so Mark Cuban did say that, but Mark Cuban actually sold some of the team. And he gave up his control of the team as well. So this ain't got nothing to do with Mark Cuban. Take Mark Cuban out of it. It wasn't Mark Cuban. Whoever he sold it to, it was his fault. Mavericks fans are now new LA fans.
Who was responsible for a third of the organization's finals appearances. The same player who, by the grace of God, miraculously fell into their lap 7.
He would have been in Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta. Well, that was a Trae Young thing. So I guess they okay, but who y'all think better? LUKA or Trae Young?
Years ago is now gone. And after looking at the reported details of this exchange, how it went down and who was involved, this is, without exaggeration, the most shocking trade in NBA history.
All right, what you got for me, Jimmy High Roller? Let's get into it.
Today's video is sponsored by
not this part though.
Super Bowl 59 is right
on.
around dollars.
Let's get past this.
Bonus bet. By now,
Here we
the
go.
reality of the situation should be setting in. It has not. A trade so insane that fans are now theorizing if the league did it for the sake of ratings. Imagine concocting
Okay, the ratings thing, I think the ratings thing has something to do with the fact that some of the games are on streaming services. I don't think it has anything to do with, because they try to say the 3-point shooting is bringing it down. Then why is it a packed arena every time somebody playing? Like, come on, okay, whatever.
So heinous that your fans literally think you're doing it for clout. That is how crazy this
Charles
trade
Barkley
is.
get on my
and
nerves.
there's
I
about
ain't
a
gonna lie.
dozen reasons
He's funny,
why this
but
is legitimately the
some of his
most
takes are
shocking
bad.
deal we have ever seen. First, according to multiple sources, none of the players even knew this trade was happening. Not LUKA, not Anthony Davis, not even the Lakers GM LeBron James. As some sources put it, this deal materialized in the shadows. In the shadows? What is this, the Illuminati? What do you mean in the shadows? And turns out this was the cleanest way this deal could have gone down. Because the next component that makes this truly the craziest trade to ever happen, LUKA never requested a trade. He's been in Dallas his entire career, and outside of a few rumors, nothing suggested he wouldn't be a lifer in that organization. There wasn't any buildup, there wasn't any reports of a disgruntled LUKA making demands. It just happened, out of the blue. Which is reason number 3. The Mavs just traded away a top 3 asset in the NBA without even shopping him. No bidding wars, no asking around and assessing other offers. They just made the call to the Lakers and accepted the deal. Can you imagine the haul Dallas would have got if they actually shopped LUKA around the league for a couple of months?
Listen, I knew they probably would have put some packages together. LUKA? Boy, you can get 3 first rounds, 2 of my superstars, the second rounds. You can get this nigga that's 14th on the bench if you want him. You can listen, and he might be. You know what? I take that back. He way more than 3 first rounds. Cause if Paul George can get, I think he got about 6 of them. LUKA can get you about 8 of them. You can have all my picks till 2030. Wait, that's only 5. 2035 for Luka Doncic. Okay, take them all. I don't want none of them middle schoolers. We need to win. Nah, give me Luka. I'll take Luka. You can get little Jimmy that's in elementary right now. I'll take Luka. And you can get him too. If you talk too much, you can go. Say another word and you can go too.
Oh, you want to give us LUKA? Here is our entire franchise. The players, the coaches, the building, the staff, my firstborn
for
child.
LUKA.
Take it all. Thanks for doing business. I'll figure out the details later. If Rudy Gobert is worth 2 starters,
exactly,
5 first rounders, and a pick swap. If Mikal Bridges is worth 5 first rounders, a second rounder, and a swap.
Fact.
If an aging Paul George is worth a rising SGA, 5 first round picks, and 2 pick swaps, can you imagine what a prime Luka Doncic would have fetched to
crazy.
the right team? Oh wait, I know. A 31-year-old Anthony Davis and a thank you note. It makes no sense. And that brings up reason number 4. The Mavericks were just in the finals last year.
They literally was in the finals last year. Luka, what's up?
Other teams after a finals run. We've seen players demand trades after a great season. But we have never seen a team willingly cough up a megastar after being just 3 games away from winning a championship. It's unthinkable. Because reason number 5, it's Luka freaking Doncic. You do not trade Luka Doncic. If you were to rank players in the NBA on their trade value, starting with the players who are the most untouchable, non-negotiable, hang up the phone, and down from there, Luka is probably 3rd or 4th on that list. The only 2 players definitively ahead of him are Wemby and Jokic. Now just try to wrap your head around the deal a team would have to offer.
And he's 25. Oh my gosh.
In exchange for Nikola Jokic, or what the Bucks would get in return for Giannis. Here's a hint, there isn't one, because they would never trade them away.
Nope.
The deal doesn't exist. Tim McMahon of ESPN reported that Dallas had 2 major concerns in regards of Luka's future with the franchise. The first one being his massive $345 million 5-year extension, which he would have been eligible for this summer, and the second concern being his health and conditioning.
They be trying to throw in his conditioning issues, But I think the real problem was that Supermax. They didn't want to pay him that Supermax because he is coming off an injury, and yeah, they saying that his conditioning issues or whatever. But that conditioning issue still gets you to the championship. I think they didn't want to pay him that much. I feel like even if he didn't have conditioning issues, they didn't want to come up off that bread, bro. 300 and something. Because once you pay him that money, you're going to have less money to disperse to the rest of your team, which means a lot of those guys got to go. And they got a lot of young guys. They got Daniel Gafford over there, Derek Lively over there, Kyrie is still there for the moment, Clay is still there for the moment. You got a whole bunch of other people to pay. But they can say, like, hey, you be coming in out of shape, bro. And your injuries might be because you come in out of shape. But I can tell you something. He got one of the healthiest NBA players you ever seen. Link up with him. Get right, Luka.
In other words, the man was out of shape. So let me get this straight. The Dallas Mavericks just traded away the best player of a generation, the future of their franchise, and the man that just got them to the finals on one leg because he put on a few pounds. For fuck's sake, Zion Williamson ate his way into load management, and he has spent the last 6 seasons in and out of rehab, and the Pelicans are still sticking by him.
Facts.
Now, Zion didn't deserve that stray.
That was a stray bullet.
I wish him the best. But you get the point. We are now over a decade into
don't even talk about him.
And the Sixers have yet to move on from Embiid. It's one thing for a franchise player to want out, to sign with another team if they aren't happy and the opportunity presents itself. But for a franchise to pull the trigger and get rid of a megastar in his prime because of constant conditioning issues is criminal. There's really no precedent or great comparison for a trade like this. Because in the past, even when teams did trade a superstar, there was context behind those trades that at least made it seem justifiable. Either the star was exiting their prime and the team was trying to salvage some value before they inevitably left, or despite how good the star was, the team wasn't finding much postseason success and wanted to go in a different direction. Or the star was bound to leave anyways, made it known, and the team had no leverage, so they were essentially forced into the trade. This deal between the Mavs and the Lakers has none of those elements involved. LUKA didn't request a trade. He's 25 years old in his prime, and the Mavericks championship window just opened up. Now, as a Blazers fan, I am painfully aware of how hard it is to get your hands on a true franchise player. Painfully aware. In our team's entire 55-year existence, we've had 3. The first one got hurt, the second one was incredible, the potential third one got hurt, and the actual third one was also incredible. That's about one superstar every 20 years. What does the lackluster history of my team have to do with this trade? Well, because the
just had to throw that
should
in
know
there.
a thing or two about keeping their hands on a generational talent. Because in their franchise's history, they've only had 2 of them. Dirk Nowitzki and Luka Doncic.
Facts.
The first one spent his entire 21-year career in Dallas, facing ups and downs and winning arguably the heaviest and most challenging championship of our lifetime. And the second one, they traded away for AD in a box of scraps after just 6.5 seasons of a promising career. And as every fan of a non-major market team knows all too well, generational talents only come along once in a generation. The Mavericks aren't some hotspot for superstar talent. They don't get real chances to win it all often. Just 3 trips to the finals in 45 years. One of those trips at the hands of the guy who they just sent packing. They cannot afford to roll the dice and hope for greener pastures like some other teams can. You are not the Lakers. You get a player like Luka and you lock that man in and throw away the key. What are we doing? It could be another 20 years before a player of Luka's caliber puts on a Mavericks jersey. And the team traded him away because he was mildly out of shape. It makes me sick. This is coming from a desperate man who's got 18 years left before
It's gonna be so weird when they played a game and LeBron and Luka steps foot on an NBA court. When he puts on that purple and gold and steps out there, Luka, what?
see another Dame. Which brings us to their second concern. Again, according to sources, the Mavericks were not keen on giving Luka an extension that would have made him the highest paid player in the league. But if the third best player in the world, who gets better in the playoffs, is a perennial MVP candidate who's hitting his
pay him the money, bruh.
isn't worth paying, then who the hell is? Dallas said that this was a win-now trade, an oxymoron of a statement considering who they just traded and where.
Okay, win now trade, but peep this. Kyrie and Clay went to Dallas because LUKA was there. Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington, and all of those boys that shoot and or catch the lobs from LUKA. I'm pretty sure they are happy that LUKA is there because they know that LUKA's going to get them the ball. Now you trade him away and you bring in AD. Who's going to distribute that ball? Because Kyrie doesn't really, like, he can, but he doesn't. Who's going to do that? This is not a win now trade. Y'all did not get a win now roster. Y'all are going to be good, but win now? Because who going to get them? We going to see what this trade going to look like after this year and at the end of these boys' careers. Come on, man.
Where he just got them last season, but superstars win championships. Superstars also cost a lot of money. And if you're not willing to empty your pockets, how committed are you to actually winning? In what world has being cheap ever won a team a title? It just seems completely counterintuitive to what they're trying to accomplish. Now, the implications of this trade for the Lakers are just as drastic, but for entirely different reasons. For starters, this will be the first time in LeBron's entire career, youth, high school, NBA,
he played off ball
of basketball, where he won't be the best player on his team, which is already...
That is true. That is true. Technically, right here, right now, LUKA is better than LeBron James. He has never been Robin. Technically, he's Robin now.
Already a huge adjustment for him and the team as a whole, but specifically because LUKA and LeBron essentially do the same exact thing.
That's a fact.
Oversized on-ball floor generals with elite scoring abilities. In fact, they not only have the same skill set, they take on the exact same roles on the court. LeBron has always initiated the offense, even if it meant relegating point guards to other positions. And this usually worked in the past because no one did what LeBron could do nearly as good as he could do it. But now there's a guy who can do what LeBron can do, only better. So that means unless LUKA and the Lakers are okay with him getting neutralized, LeBron will have to truly play off ball and within the flow of the offense for the first time in about 2 decades. 2 LeBrons on 1 team. Sounds great in theory, probably a bit redundant. Which leads me to believe the Lakers are actually playing a longer game with this trade. Sources report that the Mavericks are the ones that approached LA with this trade. And despite the Lakers playing fairly well as of late, I think they knew their chances of winning another title with the LeBron-AD duo was getting slim. So with the option of trading away key pieces and tripling down on a 40-year-old LeBron to carry them to the promised land, or trade for a megastar that just showed up on their doorstep 5 minutes ago, they couldn't book AD's flight to Dallas quick enough. Which makes me think this move was the first step into the post-LeBron era in Los Angeles.
I was just about to say that was a future move. That was a future move. LUKA is 25. When LeBron retired, they got LUKA. LUKA is still going to be top guy. Think about AD is he's 31. They were trying to pass the torch to AD, but it felt like he wasn't really taking that on, you know what I'm saying?
As we all know, LeBron will more than likely retire within a season or 2, and the Lakers needed a new face for their franchise, and they just got it. Inexplicably, miraculously, in the most Lakers way imaginable. I always wondered what LeBron's final years would look like, how he would go out, who would be around him, but never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it would be playing second fiddle to Luka Doncic in a Lakers jersey.
That's crazy.
All in all, it seems like the Mavericks won this trade, if you zoom way in and look at this in an 18-month window. But zoom out and the Lakers are looking around asking themselves how they just pulled off a bank heist. With AD, the Mavericks lineup looks good, possibly a winning formula. But the Lakers got Luka Doncic, and in 20 years, fans will look back and wonder how one of the greatest players of all time in his prime was traded away on a random Saturday night.
Another good video from Jimmy High Roller. This is the craziest trade in NBA history. This is wild, bro. He got traded over there, and guess what? The Orlando Magic ain't do shit. Jeez.